Hey y'all, good evening.
Hello. It is, well, I don't know what time it is where you are. It's good evening for us. That's when we're recording it. But
Right.
anywho, I am the Light of the Leo. This is my wonderful brother, Joe Nathan, Mr. JoJo Speaks himself, Mr. JoJo, all that good stuff. We are here to talk about Heartbreak High. We are in episode 5. We have 3 more to go.
Yes, we
Am I
do.
happy about that?
But will you at least admit that you're
Oh,
enjoying
goodness.
this at least a little bit more than Young Royals?
A little bit.
Okay, a lot of it.
This it is it I can say this is a lot more. I do appreciate the comedy that you said that was in there.
Hmm.
It's a little bit more upbeat, though it's still like low key emo kid issues. But
Of course, that comes with teenage traumas.
exactly, which I didn't would not expect less, but this is way better than Young Royals, in my opinion. I'm not going to say Young Royals is better or good or whatever. It's just that to actually watch it, it was a little bit easier for me to watch this here, Heartbreak High. But of course, this is what Jonathan made me watch. Thank you guys for being with us thus far in this journey. Let us get to it, Jonathan. What happened on Heartbreak High episode number 5?
Yes, well, we start off from where we left off. If you don't remember last episode,
Absolute
Harper,
foolishness.
Harper, Dusty, and Malachi got into it in a weed filled sexual encounter.
We drinking and other drugs because they were doing
Right.
all the other stuff at the thing at the Mardi Gras.
So we see the three in bed. Malachi gets up and he looks back, and Harper is awake and she's staring at Malachi. And it's interesting the looks that they're giving each other, like a look of uneasiness, a look of "Are you okay?" in a way. Yeah, it's weird. And then
I wonder why.
right, and then Dusty, he's actually has his face towards the wall,
And
not
and
looking,
his back to Harper and
and
both of
his back
them.
to Harper. And I really can't read what's on his face, but it's definitely a face of worry, of concern.
It's an issue.
Of,
It's something's wrong.
it seems like something is wrong. So we'll see how this plays out in the rest of the episode and the rest of the season. Then
All
we
right.
have then we have Darren and Cash. They're walking home from the party. It's the sun is up. Okay, it's probably about 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. These kids got to go to school. Not that they're going to class or anything to learn,
Yeah, yeah.
but
For what? Why?
they still do have to
That's not
attend
necessary.
school, at least be on the premises, honey.
At least they
Okay.
were learning, young royals.
Okay, right, exactly. At least they cared about their grades in Young Royals. We haven't heard anyone mention anything about an honor roll or a grade or a test or nothing.
Ooh, I
Nothing.
made an A. You ain't heard nothing
Nothing.
about that.
Nothing
No.
concerning academics has been touched on in the
The show.
4 episodes that we've
No.
seen thus far.
But I heard about how much you skipped class.
Right, exactly, exactly. So anyway, so Darren and Cash, they're walking back home. Cash is walking Darren back home, and Darren asks Cash if he wants to, come up and, yeah, come up. And Cash is like, oh well, don't you have to go to work? And Darren says, well, I'll BS it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got
I'll
to go to
ditch it
work. Darren don't care about work and or school. Darren cares about his man, honey. Okay.
and getting
But
his.
Cash declines. He says, I'll just go ahead and head home. And there's a dog walker that's walking past them. And once that dog walker clears, they engage in some nice kissing and whatnot. So there's clearly something there between them two. Darren gets home, gets in their bed, puts on some pornography, and rubs one out real quick. So there we
Yeah.
go. We see where
He
Darren's
was
head is
doing a
at.
bit much too. He was like, oh,
Like
oh,
like he was in the actual act of
act.
sex
Like,
itself.
good lord,
Like
sir.
for
Like
real?
seriously, seriously,
Is it
sir,
is it really all
seriously,
about that? But
seriously.
it's all right. So we're back at
Okay.
school, and we're hearing the sound from the video that was recorded of Malachi being assaulted by this cop.
And they even made an edit of it. Like,
There's like a meme of it that they've made of trying kind of making a joke about Malachi being assaulted by this cop. So this video is going all the way around. Jennifer,
this really surprised me
why?
because they were looking at something like that as something to joke about, knowing that
Right.
it's rooted in racism. That really jarred me, like, hold on, so this is how people are acting about this. They don't see the serious implications of this. And of course, we have maybe because we're here in America, a
Mhm.
different look at that. We've seen a lot of police brutality here in America against African American peoples, and we've taken every bit of it seriously. But for them to make a joke of that for that indigenous person going through that, I really kind of felt sad
And
about this, and I'm a little disappointed in Australia.
yes, and I have a feeling the reason why they're making a joke about it is because he's First Nation.
Yeah,
Because he is First Nation, that's the reason why they make it such a joke about it because they don't take it seriously. And Malachi said in the last episode, don't post the video. Nothing's going to happen to them. No one's going to take it seriously. No actions, no repercussions
no one's
will
gonna
be
be upset
felt.
about it.
But yeah, exactly. And he was exactly right. The reason why he did not want A. Marie to post this video and all of his fears are coming to light.
And that's
And
another thing too. It's like it's really sad that he knows that everybody will make light of it. Everybody.
right.
And I'm over here trying to figure out, so only if you know the person there's an issue?
Yeah.
Because only the people around him that knew of him
They're the only ones
felt
that
the need to
care.
try to defend or, try to help him out as a person.
Exactly.
And yeah, that it really made me sad, Australia. And if anybody from Australia is watching this, can I hear your words about this? How you feel about this? Because I will never be able to say that I totally understand how things are in a totally different country that I've never been to, continent that I've never been to. Um, yeah, please share how you feel about this.
Right. And there's discrimination everywhere. It's not just an
Absolutely,
American thing. It is everywhere you go. You will
but
see
it's
some
go
form of
ahead. I'm sorry.
discrimination. Go ahead.
It's just weird to not see it on a black person at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because we're so used to it. You know?
Right. And the funny thing is Malachi referred to himself as black in the last
Yeah,
episode when he was talking to spiders. Never seen a black guy before.
and that's why I was
In his
like,
skirt. Yeah.
"Hmm." That's what
Yeah.
okay.
So I guess maybe those who are minorities in those parts do identify as
Consider
black.
themselves as black.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it seems like that should be the case. But anyway, so Harper's in the hall and she sees Malachi. So she goes to check up on him, see how he's doing. And what do you think is her intent on talking to Malachi in this moment?
I think her intent is to try to make good on, try to show that she cares. To
Hmm.
be honest, anybody that has never seen anybody go through something real, which looks like that is Amory's situation, it's
Hmm.
really difficult unless you've know gone through anything. So you don't know how to approach somebody that has gone through something truly traumatic, and you want to try to make it better
Yeah.
somehow, some way, but just don't know how to.
Yeah, Harper is trying. So I do think that she definitely means well in this moment. Um, do you think she meant well when she got into the threesome? Do you think what do you think she was even thinking about Amory in that moment? The fact that this is
No,
her boyfriend or
I
ex-boyfriend?
think she was thinking that it was just a moment. They were
Hmm.
all litty to titty, and
Yes,
they were, and it was initiated by her man, so it
by
was
Dusty,
okay.
right?
So let's have a moment. She wasn't thinking about that girl.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that as well. And so she tells Malachi, Amory cannot find out about this whatsoever. Of course, Malachi has no plans on telling Amory nothing about this because Amory gonna go ape-ish.
And
So
we know.
anyways, then we see Amory walk up to Malachi. And she asked him, you've been ignoring my texts. You haven't hit me up in a couple
Yeah, I
days.
thought you
What's
were
going
talking about
on?
Amory in the first one. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's
But
okay. Yeah, Harper did approach Malachi
yeah,
first.
I do remember that. But to answer your question correctly, I feel like she was just trying to make sure that he was good because no one ever really asked her that. Though she never told anybody that she's been through anything traumatic.
It shows in all her actions and her faces.
But she, of course, if you want help, it's kind of difficult for people to give you help when you don't have any kind of dialogue about what has happened with you.
Right.
So how can we help you?
Exactly.
Unspoken expectations.
Exactly. But kids don't communicate, so there's that. So, anyways, Amarie asked Malachi, how he's doing, why he's been ghosting her. He hasn't returned any of her texts or messages or anything of that nature. And Malachi just wants to kind of forget all of this happened. He wants to
Please.
keep it out of his mind. And he invites Amarie to go out to kind of make up for things. And I'm glad
Yeah.
that he's not rejecting her the way that he sort of kind of did at that party, because he was like, get the F out of my life, get away from me. Like it's almost like he didn't want to see her again. So I'm glad that he's gotten out of that drunk, drug-filled stupor. Um,
Yeah, cause yeah, I don't even know why she took that seriously because she knew the place that he was in, but she took all that seriously. Well, maybe it's because she was drunk and everything too.
Right. So then the principal calls an assembly and she announces that the semifinal basketball game will be held at the school. I think it's called Heartbreak High, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so what they're going to be doing, since they're going to be having visitors, is they'll be cleaning up the campus. Everybody gets to clean up and help. Someone in the audience said, "Don't we have cleaners for that?" You know what I'm saying? I thought that was funny, but maybe the
But
mess is too
hey,
big for one person to be able to handle all themselves.
of course.
And of course, so we have after the assembly, Darren, Missy, Sasha, and Quinny. Sasha says that she knows Quinny's going to be the queen of cleaning, honey. And Darren's like, "Girl, child, I don't clean up after white people.
Well,
Okay,
you got you
this
you
is not."
can't skip the incentive, Jonathan. The
Oh
incentive
yes,
is a PlayStation
a PlayStation gift card.
gift card. And
Gift
that's how she
card.
said it. She said
Yes.
PlayStation. And she left it at that for a second. Gift card of $50. Like, come on now.
Right. Like why would I want a PlayStation gift card? But I guess people
But
who
Quinny wanted that
game a
gift card
lot,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. Quinny wanted that gift card. She said, it's about to be me, honey.
Right. And so then we have Harper. She approaches Dusty. And he's saying that he's okay, everything's fine, no issues there whatsoever. So we move on. There's no issues in that particular back and forth. And so then
Lies.
we right. And so then we're back into our sluts class. And they're talking about pornography. So Darren,
This was actually a good class. I
it was,
agree. This
wasn't
was
it?
really a good class
Yes.
compared to all the others. This is really good.
Right. Everyone kind of explains their experiences with pornography. Darren is giving his explanation as to how he felt like he learned everything about sex from pornography. And then he had a rebuttal to that in a way. And then
Mhm.
Spider interrupts him. And Darren quickly looks behind, because Darren don't back down from nobody. Okay. So Darren quickly looks behind and he says, are you jealous, Spider, because you're so stuck in the closet, honey? Okay. How did
Practically
you
in Narnia back
okay,
there.
in Narnia, how did you react to Darren shutting down Spider?
He did as he should. Okay. First of all, to be honest, I believe every time Spider speak, the whole class needs to say "Shut the f up, Spider," just like they
Yes,
did the other episode.
on
That's
the
how
other
it should be.
episode,
I can't
yes.
stand that man. It's like the miserable wants everybody miserable, and Spider is certainly that.
And how did you feel about him kind of alluding to Spider's true sexuality? Do you think that was just a joke, or do you think he had some insight?
To be honest, on this television show, I don't know. So I don't even try that. I guess at this point.
Gotcha. Our JoJo, our teacher, she has this box and she wants everyone to put in the box the things that they like. Now, she didn't specify whether she wanted them to talk about things that they like sexually. I'm assuming
Hmm.
what she meant, but she didn't
I
say
mean,
that
it's a sex
specifically.
class, you
So,
know.
right, exactly. So then Darren says Cash hasn't made a move. He's talking to Quinny and A Marie, and he's like, we kissed and all, but nothing else happened. And so we are clearly seeing that Darren is a very sexual person.
Yes.
Darren loves the act of coitus. It's very
Relations.
important. Okay, it's very important to Darren, and he feels as though because Cash hasn't, I guess, been touching on him, maybe feeling up on him. He hasn't copped a feel or anything like that. He feels like that means that Cash is sending mixed signals, or Cash
Yeah,
really isn't into him.
it's like it's only been kisses out of desperation. Like I can't take it anymore. I gotta kiss your mom, mom, mom.
Right. And he actually said only serial killers take things this slow. Like, y'all just kissed for the first time on the previous episode, Darren. Like, why do we need to move this fast? Like, he fully expected to have sex with Cash on that previous episode. Like,
Yeah.
he fully expected it.
I totally think it's just two different sides of the spectrum, or maybe there's more to it. Who knows? We'll find out later.
Yes, absolutely. So then we see Darren, and Darren is kind of throwing trash in the way because Darren sees Cash up the hallway. So Darren kind of throws trash out, in the way, and try to make sure Cash gets in. And Cash walks up to him. It's like, "Are you throwing trash on purpose for me to clean up?" And Darren's like, no. Why would I be
No,
doing that? No, of course not. Not at all. Not
no,
at
not,
all." And
not,
so
no, not.
then Cash invites Darren to his house for a little get together, a little date or whatever. He didn't say
Yay!
specifically that it was a date, but he asked him if he wants to hang. That's his key word with Darren when he wants to spend some time with Darren. And Darren obliges, and then Cash is like, "Well, what were you going to say?" Because Darren was going to say something before Cash asked him out. And Darren's like, "Oh, I was going to ask you if you wanted to go to the basketball game." And Cash is like, maybe not. And Darren's like, "Oh yeah, me neither. Male sports, So I love Darren and
What you
Cash.
think Darren was wanted to do in the first place?
What do you mean? What do you think? What do I think he was going to ask Cash? What he wanted to do
Yeah,
at
because we
that
know it wasn't
moment?
about that basketball game. We both know.
Oh, maybe he wanted to do a little something freaky while they're skipping class.
Maybe that's exactly what he wanted to do. He took that idea immediately when he was talking with his friends.
Yeah, yeah. And so then we have the basketball players. They're doing a little practice or whatever. We're focusing on Malachi. He doesn't seem to be doing any worse or any better than usual. He seems to be
Yeah.
doing okay. The principal walks into the gym, and she kind of says to Malachi, I saw the video. I wanted to make sure that you're okay. I was very proud of the principal in this moment. She obviously
Yeah.
cares a lot for these students,
She may be
and
weird, but
yes, but she means well. She means very
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I love this about her. And so then Darren goes into the locker room, and we hear a classic come over the speakers, honey. It's the Whisper Song by the
Oh
Yin
yeah.
Yang Twins. Okay.
Okay. It was
And
perfect for the moment.
perfect for the moment. Malachi
Okay.
walks in. It's all steamy in the showers, honey. Seems to be a red tint in the lens as well, and so everything seems to be heightened. And so Malachi looks in one stall, sees somebody.
For the
Um,
shower.
okay, in the
Shower
shower.
stall.
Then he goes to the next stall. He sees Spider eating an apple or a peach or whatever the case may be, very slowly, very sensually or whatever. Then he sees another black boy with an afro. He's kind of doing his head like this. Then he gets to the last stall, and we see the back of Dusty. And then Dusty looks back and looks all seductively into Malachi's eyes, honey, like he wants a child. And also, we saw two other young men on the right side of
Going at it.
Malachi kind of doing that. We didn't see any thrusting or hip movements,
But
but they
hey,
were in the position.
we saw two butts.
Okay.
That's all I had to
Okay.
say.
Yes. Okay. So, what did you think that this moment meant for Malachi in his head? Because it was actually like a dream type state, because when they
Sequence,
went back
yeah.
to reality, he saw that Dusty actually was not in the shower at all. No one was in that shower.
Yeah, this scene made me seem like, oh, so I guess that made him what? Curious. His whole situation that he had in that three-way. This is another thing that makes me not like the phase of the teenagers, because
Right. You don't
it's
know what you want.
also it's also a time of trying to figure out who you are.
Hmm.
So, not saying that I don't like that he may like men or may be attracted to men. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
What I'm saying is that when you're an adult, you know what you want, how you want it, whether you're bi, gay, whatever, straight, whatever. And he's still in the process of like, wow, I've discovered something. Maybe I might want this. This seems kind of nice. And it's like it's just another journey for them to go on. And also, what doesn't make this any easier is that he's trying to be with Amory, but
Hmm.
Things are looking weird right now.
And it seems to me that before this actually happened, he must have never considered it at all
Apparently,
because
no.
this seems to be hitting him like a ton of MF and bricks.
Yes, he
Like
don't know what to do with himself,
he really does not know
and
how
he's
to
certainly keeping
respond,
it to
how to
himself.
act. Yes, he is. And that's the wrong thing to do. But really, if Malachi were going to talk to anybody, who would he
Who he
talk
gonna
to?
talk to? That's the thing.
Right.
He don't got no real friends out here, at least not that
I
we
guess
know of.
I think the best person to talk to in this moment would probably be JoJo, their sluts teacher. She'd probably be able to
Yeah,
give him the best advice as
advice,
far as a mature adult is concerned.
child.
Because ain't none of them kids gonna be any help to him. Okay. So yeah, this was interesting to me. It of course it gives me hope. But
What
at
kind
the
of hope,
same
Jonathan?
hope that Malachi, because first of all, we got a preview of a possible male on male attraction with him and Spider, although that was in A. Marie's imagination. So that wasn't
Okay.
even Malachi thinking about doing that. But seeing him and Dusty, like they would make like a beautiful couple together, like to at least to
Uh-huh.
me, because they're both very attractive.
Mhm.
And so I would feel that this would be a step into a good direction. Although when you're in this type of space and you're just figuring something out like this, it's not a good space to be in at all because it's nothing but confusion. Because I can't imagine being a bisexual person, the amount of confusion that goes along with that. Like, who do I like more? I mean, because I don't know if some people are like just straight right down the middle. I like one just as much as I like the other. Some of them say they like one more than the other. So it's just a scary place to be. And
Because
if
you're
he's
really
just
trying to
having
figure
this
out what it is.
right, and if he's just having this realization now and he's never considered it before this time, I can imagine how confusing that could be for
He gonna
someone
need to
in
be
his
alone for a little
position.
bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, we have Darren coming to Cash's house because Cash asked Darren for a little get together, a little hanging out session or whatever. And Cash answers the door and immediately apologizes. And Darren says, "What are you apologizing for?" And Nan comes to the door and he says, "You're taking me to my game tonight. Whoop de doo." Are you loving Nana or what?
I love Nana, and she's another saving grace of this show that helped me to continue to watch because all that tension was too much for me earlier in this episode. But she really broke all of that, and I really appreciate it, Nan.
Absolutely. So Nan takes Darren and Cash to, and Darren's wearing one of his skirts. Of course, I love it when Darren wears a skirt.
Hmm.
It's always a look. So, anyways, Nan is taking Darren and Cash through this back door alley type of looking. It looks real suspicious. Nan, she knocks on the door, then she pushes a buzzer. So she's going through a secret entrance. It looks like.
Yes.
And so then they walk through the hallway. Cash is actually trying to get Darren to come with him because he's feeling like, well, we got Nan here, so now we can go off and do our own thing.
Oh yeah.
And Nan is like, oh, come on, Darren. So Nan is not
Okay, Nan.
having it. Y'all are spending time
Y'all coming
with
over? Y'all
Nana
y'all
today,
coming?
okay? So as they walk through the hallway, Nana actually thanks the person that let her in. So apparently Nana got the hookup, okay,
Okay.
at this
And
space.
when I saw those machines, I said, "This is the back of a bowling alley."
Yes, yes, it is. And
Hmm.
so they walk into the bowling alley, and Nana's got some friends, two males and a female. She says, "Woohoo! I'm here!" Woohoo!
Her homies.
Okay, yes, Nana got some homies, girl, and one of them says, "Finally, you're getting here." It seems like they're a little bit late, and so first of all, when they're walking through the hallway, Nana asks Cash and Darren, "How did you know each other?" Darren says, "Work," and Cash says, "School,"
Oh,
and
so
she says, "Swerk." Never heard
sure.
of it.
Nan ain't stupid.
Nana knows what's going on.
Nan ain't stupid.
So they get to the table. Nan introduces Darren to everyone. Everyone, this is Douglas's friend from Schwerk. Darren. This is Cindy, so and so. And what was the main guy's name? Charlie or Charles or whatever? I can't remember
Oh,
what his name was, but she said steer clear of Charlie because he gets very touchy feely when he's drunk. And so clearly Nana knows what Darren is giving. She knows that Darren is a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. And apparently Nan is very fond of the LGBTQIA plus
She ain't got no
community
problem with
because
it.
her friends are LGBTQIA plus, or at least one of them, the main one that's talking.
Yeah.
Um, and so Cash really wants to leave, and then says, "Oh no, you can stay for one game." And and Cash is like, "Darren, come on!" And Darren's like, "No, no, let's stay. I've never." Darren says, "I've never played poker before, and it'll be fun for me to win all of your pension checks." And Charlie says, "Oh, you're dreaming." So we're gonna have some fun with Nan and the
Yeah.
homies.
I love
And
Nan.
Nan says, "Go on, get your old granny a drink." And so then we have Emery and Malachi. They're at this
Oh
arcade.
wait, before you move forward, I just want to say you can see it in Nan's eyes. She know her grandson gay.
Oh, and we're gonna get to that in the next scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's in the next scene. Oh, my
yes,
bad.
yes, it's okay. It's totally fine. And so Malachi and Amory are talking a little bit, and they're not talking about the situation, but they're kind of talking in circles in a way, kind of feeling each other out. Somewhat. And then he says, "Do you know that I have the highest score in Dance Dance Revolution, whatever
Whatever
the
dance
game is
game.
called over there in
Uh-huh.
Australia?" And so they go over to Step Machine. For some reason, I'm thinking that this arcade is in the bowling alley. Um, I don't know why, but
It
I
was a
just
whole different space
okay.
because the bowling alley was shut down. There's nobody bowling or anything. It was dark.
Right, it was. It was. So we're back to our poker game. And Cash is coming back from probably the bar, getting his old nana drink. And he sees Darren's hand, and Darren has an ace and a king in their hand. And Darren puts their cards down and says, "Oh, I've got nothing." So
And
clearly,
then
clearly Darren knows what they're doing.
letting
Darren
them
is
win.
fond of poker. And I love this
This ain't his
fact.
first time.
No, not Darren's first time whatsoever. And so then Darren asks Charlie or whoever the main Nan's friend is. No. The main Nan's friend asks Darren, "Oh, anyone special in your life?" And Nan says, "Oh Lord, here we go." And then Charlie says, "Just trying to make conversation, you old bitch." Oh, the shade, honey, the shade, girl.
Ciao. That was cute.
Whew, it was
Good
it was it
time.
was, it was definitely funny. I love the banter. She gets in with the girls.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Dad
yeah.
gets in with the girls. And Darren doesn't actually answer the question at all.
Mm-mm.
They actually say, "Well, what about you?" Charlie tells the story about an athlete that he met, and Darren asks, "Was it love?" And he says, "Yes, actually, it was love." And Darren's like, "Well, I'm glad you two guys had the time to spend with one another, even if it was just for a little while."
It
Then
was a
Darren
sweet
looks at
story.
Cash. Cash looks at Darren. Nan looks at Cash. And Cash looks at Nan. And you can see in Nan's eyes that she knows what's going on.
That's
Okay.
why she automatically took him. Let's go. We're gonna play poker. Come on.
Okay. So do you think this is the reason why she brought them around her gay friends?
I can't say definitively, but I do believe, it's like, hey, I deal with these people that are gay.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with you that's gay. If come on now. Because I was at one point thinking that he was out, but from the way that he's been acting with Darren, I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way to me, at
Nah.
least. And so then we get back to Malachi. Malachi and Emery. They just finished the dance game, and she's like, "Malachi, you're a really good dancer. You should go for it. You should do that professionally." He's like, "Nah,
Child.
I got basketball. Basketball's too important." And he's really, really good. Like he's a great basketball player, probably one of the best players on the team, which is why the
Yeah.
coach wanted him to try out for regionals or whatever the case might have been. And he's like, "No, because yes, I hate basketball, but basketball is actually something I'm good at, and it's going to
Good
get
at,
me.
yeah.
It can actually get him somewhere." And then they talk about the night before, and Malachi really just wants to forget about it. Malachi just really wants to forget about it. Excuse me. Amory agrees to be his. Okay, and then Amory asks him. Avery says, "Well, I never answered your question from what you asked me during Mardi Gras. If I would be your girlfriend, Jennifer."
I think before that, I just want to say this out loud since we're in this space,
Hmm.
but I don't like how she was trying to push something out of him. If something happens in a traumatic way to somebody, let them consider and think about everything. And when they're ready to talk to you, they will talk to you. You
Right.
trying to push something out of them, it's just never going to work and it will be pointless. So hold off.
And
Okay,
and if
chill
he
out.
wanted to talk about it, that would be the first subject that you guys talk about at the beginning of
Exactly.
your conversation. But it's clear he's making it obvious, and he had to tell her straight up,
You don't
"I don't
want
want to talk
to,
about it."
and that's a problem. Once again, with trauma, you have to give space to
Hmm.
whoever has been traumatized.
Exactly.
It is not for you to try to become Iyanla, Dr. Phil, Oprah, whomever you may like at the moment. Let people be and give them time and space to be, and then they will feel comfortable or one day ready to actually have the conversation.
Right. Exactly.
I
So
didn't I
then,
did not like that. I said, girl, if you don't leave that boy alone.
yeah, yeah, but it's like she's desperate to be his everything in this moment. But at the same time, it's like initially she wasn't even interested in being with him, like in the last episode. So it's like I don't know what Amory wants in this moment. I
Child,
really don't know
A
what she
Marie don't
wants.
know too.
And she doesn't know either. So there
Okay.
you go. Anyways, so the poker game is over. Darren and Cash are in Cash, what seems like Cash's or his nan's car. Cash is dropping Darren off at their house.
Ooh,
And
child.
Cash calls Darren out for lying about not playing poker. He's like, "Oh, never played poker before, huh?" And Darren was like, "Well, I mean, if I had beat them all, they wouldn't have asked me to come back." So there you go. So apparently, Darren really enjoyed themselves, and I love that. And so
That's good.
there's a little bit of a tension and silence between them, and then Darren calls for the kiss, and Darren is kissing Cash kind of hard, kind of seriously, intimately, to kind of kiss that would lead to something else eventually. And Cash is kind of like leaning back into the kiss, like he's not giving in, leaning forward into the kiss, and so Cash is like sort of like almost like get off of me a little bit. You're this is a little much right now. And so Darren then stops the kiss and then immediately gets out the car and says, "Oh, well, I'll see you at school." And Darren is clearly upset. What did this tell you about Darren and Cash's thing where it stands now, at least in this moment?
Look, it's apparent for me. This is what I gathered in those spaces. I truly believe that Cash is just not ready to be with the man. It's just that's just what I believe. It's like he likes how it feels.
Hmm.
He likes enjoying himself with him, but he's not ready to do the do. How about that?
Yeah, he's not ready to dive in just
And,
yet.
and then and him doing the do would actually be kind of like a confirmation that he does like the man.
And maybe he doesn't want that confirmation. There's that. Yeah. So then we have Darren. Darren is complaining, honey. He's complaining to Sasha and Quinn. He's like, he won't give me nothing. Like I'm giving him all the signs. I'm giving him all the signals. I'm
Child.
letting him know that I want him to do me, honey, and it's not working. He's giving me nothing, girls. He's giving me nothing. I mean, then Sasha suggests, well, why don't you just send him a nude? You know what I'm saying? Well, do you agree with Sasha's sentiments in this moment to send Cash a
No,
nude
I
to get him
no,
going?
no. That doesn't make anybody want to have sex with you. They may have a nude of you now and still not having sex with you, but you know, yeah, yeah. I'm done.
Yeah, so Darren and the girls, they play a little bit of dress up. And while they're playing dress up, they're taking pictures here and there. Darren has on a jock strap to show all the goodies, okay? And so Darren's looking through the pictures. They took about 11 of them. And then he finds they find the correct picture and they send it off to Cash. And they see that it's sent, and then they see the bubbles
That was
as
that was an amazing montage.
it was, wasn't it? It was. They were
Yeah,
trying on wigs. They were putting on different outfits. It was looking like the Darren and the girls were having a good time.
that was
So
an
after
amazing
Darren sends
montage.
the
Yeah,
sends the nude. It was. After Darren sends the nude, they're waiting for a response from Cash. And all Darren gets is the three little bubbles as if Cash is going to type and never gets the message. And Darren says he's dead to me or something of that nature.
He
Darren's
wasn't happy.
unhappy. Not at
Yeah.
all. So then we get back into the class. Excuse me. Cash is nervous about seeing Darren in class. Excuse me, Darren and
Yes.
Cash haven't talked since Darren sent that nude. So things are a little bit antsy between them.
Child.
And they're starting to read what's in the box. And so one of the things that's in the box, and I believe Missy was the one that read this out, this thing on the paper said, Harper likes getting double dicked by Dusty and Malachi. And this is how it gets out that there was a threesome. Did this shock you at all?
It does not shock me because there's somebody that is really in tune with everybody's business. Let me ask you something. Are we going to find out who's been writing all that stuff on the bottom of those desks before this season is over with?
I can't remember, but I don't believe we get like actual confirmation. I don't believe we actually get confirmation. I can tell you who I think it is.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not happy about that. We need to know who's doing that and diamond everybody out. Though it is healthy, in my opinion, because just to have people go along and think that this is how things are, and then this happened because they say I would have wanted to tell you, like Malachi told Amory, but no one ever finds the right time to give somebody heartbreaking information. Nobody.
Right.
So it is kind of positive that somebody's putting everybody's business out there in the streets. Maybe they shouldn't be having sex with everybody.
Because it causes conversation. It causes us to do what we should have been doing to begin with.
Walking.
Right. And so Spider has an immediate reaction, laughs to the high heavens. So we're all thinking that Spider's the one that told, that Spider's the one who wrote that down. We don't know exactly if it was him or not. And then Amory turns around and calls Harper a slut. Do you think she was justified in saying what she said to Harper?
Yeah, man. Using the word slut, I mean, I guess that's the I don't know if there's any other word that we could use for a moment like that. But yeah. Who wouldn't if you're that upset? This is not only the first time, but the second time you have had relations with somebody that I want and actually like. How dare you slut bag?
And it makes me think that you're doing this on purpose.
At this point,
makes me think you're doing this on purpose. At this point, that's what you're telling me with your action. So then JoJo, our teacher, she pulls Harper and Amory to the side and tells them to do better. You girls need to do better. You're better than this. Do better, ladies. Then we have Aunt Dusty, Spider.
Better than I would have.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think I would have cussed the both of them out. What's going on?
Right. Got all this rigmarole going on in this sluts class. We are supposed to be
and y'all holding it up. Now you the mascot of the sluts. What's going on?
Okay. And then we also see that Spider, Malachi, Dusty, and Ant, JoJo has put them all in detention for a week. We see Spider and Ant walk off. Dusty walks up to Malachi, asking him how he's doing. I'm so glad Dusty did that because I do think that Dusty does care. And so Malachi says that he's okay, but
go ahead.
But I would really love to see just a dream of mine would be for Malachi and Dusty to be together. That's just me though. Anyways, so Harper explains to Amory that she thought that Malachi and Amory were broken up, and that's the reason why she felt it was okay to have sex with Malachi. Amory says she doesn't know who Harper is anymore.
And when she said, I thought y'all were broken up, she said, for 14 seconds?
Exactly. Like, for real. Like, we came to the party as a couple, girl. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Child. Anyways, and so...
Harper, I think Harper's just about as stupid as Dusty. That's why they're together at the moment. Because it's like, what makes you think that was okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it's something else.
Like at this point, you're no better than Anne-Marie for whatever you think she did or didn't do.
Right, exactly. And actually, I would feel that Harper's worse off than Marie is at this point because right now Marie isn't even aware of what she did. Harper, you are clearly and utterly aware of everything you're doing to this girl.
And so much to the point that you feel the need to actually talk to her about it
And apologize for it.
outside of your anger for whatever you think she did or
You
didn't do
you have to push your anger
beforehand.
to the side to make an apology to your former best friend.
And that should tell you something, that you really acting irrationally at this point, especially in the beginning. You were acting irrationally. How on earth can somebody do you wrong, you not let that and that person not know? She's like, oh yeah, you really don't know. No, she don't know.
Because you ain't telling her.
And then on top of that, you disgrace her more than once by having relations with people that she wants and loves and stuff like that, or wants to be
Hmm.
with, or whatever. Love is real strong, so yeah, wants to be with. And you look like, well, I mean, you weren't together, girl.
That's just an excuse, to be honest, because
It
she knows that they
is
weren't broken up. She
all
knows
of
that they
this,
were not broken up, honey.
but she wouldn't have. Um, if there was actually no reason to be for her to be upset, for Amory to be upset,
Hmm.
you wouldn't feel the need to try to explain yourself. How about that, Harper?
Exactly, exactly. And if you knew that they were broken up, that would mean that you would think that she wouldn't care.
Exactly.
But you know that she's gonna care.
But you know she cared because you felt the
Mhm.
need to talk up for yourself, to
Exactly.
explain yourself, to apologize. Why you feel the need to apologize? You ain't do nothing wrong, did you?
Mm, child.
That Harper chick, she really catching my nerves. Something
I see,
serious.
and I see why. I see why. She got on my nerves as well. I didn't like her, to be honest.
That's
So
not a friend. Oh, I'm
Not at
sorry.
all. Not at all. And the thing is, she cares for the people she wants to care for, and she cares for them wonderfully in
Oh,
those moments
when she cares for them,
when she cares for them.
when she chooses to do so, which is, in my opinion, what I believe she's selectively doing to her bestie, Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
She
It's
apparently both of y'all ain't perfect, but you over here holding her to some kind of standard, some kind of God standard that none of y'all can even achieve.
because you're
I'm
still teenagers
I'm
and you don't
upset.
communicate.
I am upset. Y'all don't talk. And then you get so upset. Well, you don't know what happened when the girl finally was able to tell you to your face, I don't know what happened. What happened? What did I do? You
That
said,
opens the door for you to release.
and then she says, you don't care. And leave. Like, girl, what? I'm sorry. I'm
Teenagers.
sorry. Teen motherfucking
Anyways,
majors. That's how I feel, Jonathan. Thank you for understanding how I feel.
and this is why I said during our Saturday prayer, like these teenage films or series, they give you a little tick. You know?
It, ooh. And I promise you,
Yes.
if I did not have to watch this show, and I leave that there.
Yes. And I promise you, Heartstopper will not do this to you. At least not in this way.
Not this way. Okay.
Not to this extent. Like
Well, shoot.
the drama is very minimal on
Hmm.
Heartstopper. There's
But you
drama
know
there,
what?
but it's very minimal.
I can say this drama is a little bit more not relatable,
Mm,
but it's like I get it. The drama,
it
like the
makes
young
sense
Royals drama. Shoot, that makes sense to me too. What he
because
was
of the
going
position they
through,
were in.
but that Simone, he was just acting, he was just being stupid, and because if he would have just stepped back for just 2 seconds, that would be just a one season right there. But
Right.
but we gotta have more seasons. We gotta have more controversy.
Yeah, gotta get that in dollar bills, y'all. Gotta make this
Okay.
coin
All
off
right.
these
Go
people
ahead. Let
watching
me
our
shut
stuff.
up.
It's okay. That was your rant for the episode. I
Thank you.
appreciated it. So then we have Dusty and Harper. They're talking in the library. Spider is on the other side of the aisle, and he's making some lame jokes, and it's really annoying. He's obviously very annoying and very attention seeking. And Harper's like, "How did this get out? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you? What's the issue? Like, and
And
Dusty,
that's the question too. It was just the three of them in that room. Did somebody like Spider have, keys to the house or something? Came in there, oop, my bad, and left. For all we know, because I don't how.
well, Harper didn't say anything.
Let's be real.
Malachi didn't say
You
anything.
know that's real. So is Dustin a chatty Cathy and we don't know yet?
And we know that Dusty's best friend is who? Spider.
Spider. How though? See, that's how I can say with my whole chest that Dusty is stupid though. It make you want to kick him in the chest. Okay, go ahead.
And so then we have Dusty saying that he felt weird about the situation, and the reason why is because he felt like Harper was too into Malachi. She got too excited to be with him, as if he didn't initiate the sexing to
Jonathan,
begin with.
Jonathan,
Dusty's
Jo-
like, no, you were too into it. This is the issue with threesomes, y'all. When y'all bring someone else into your bedroom and one of y'all gets attached to that third party, somebody gonna have their feelings hurt. Go ahead, Jennifer.
This, my dear, is not just a teenage situation, but an adult situation. You have these fantasies for so long of trying to make something like this happen. You finally make it happen. And now, all willy nilly, you watch the girl that you actually like enjoy herself with somebody else. That somebody else that
Mm,
you invited into your bedroom. Consequences, people. Consequences. Yes. Now, I would never say that it's bad for you to do your threesome. Whatever you want to do in your sexual relationships, okay?
mhm,
Do you, but be safe, of course. But when you start to bring extra people into a situation with your significant other, the one that you actually like, you put yourself at risk to get your feelings hurt. Dusty got his feelings hurt.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. That ego, that male ego, it don't go
It's so
nowhere.
freaking fragile.
Yes, it
So
is.
fragile. And I guess there's just no way he could look past it. But then again, it's like,
You asked for it, sir.
and then
You,
what's her name? It started with an H.
Harper.
Harper's loyalty to Dusty has
It's
never
so
wavered this whole time,
not at all.
but you still feel like, well, she enjoyed it and she can't. It's all your fault, Dusty. Dusty, you're stupid still. Go ahead, Jonathan.
So then we get outside. The girls are wearing these uniforms like they're playing a sport. I don't know exactly what sport they were playing. Harper
Mhm.
walks over to Missy and Sasha. Missy and Sasha do not see it for Harper, honey. They are.
And you know what? I at one point I was like, "Dag nabbit, when are they going to see that Harper is the issue? Harper is the problem in some of this situation." And to
Mhm.
hear their reaction to this, I was like, "Okay, they ain't stupid." Go ahead, Jonathan. I'm sorry.
Right. And they're like, girl, what did you do that for? You know, Marie and Malachi was in a relationship, honey. And Sasha says, yeah, you just wanted to get your D wet. Okay. That's
Okay,
all you wanted to do. You wanted to sex them, you want to sex them both up, honey, at the same
that's
time.
that's all you wanted. You're holding it up, ain't
Yeah.
you?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So there
Okay.
Missy and Sasha clearly are not seeing it for Harper, and I'm proud of them for that sentiment. I really am, because Harper seems to not think that anything was done wrong. She
And
seems not to
and
want to
that's.
take
I'm sorry. I'm shut up. I'm waiting till you
she
stop.
she seems not to want to take accountability for the wrong that she did do. Go ahead.
And that's my main problem.
Hmm.
That's my main problem. It's one thing for you to walk up to Anne-Marie to be like, I'm sorry, I thought y'all were broken up or whatever, and then come up to your friends like, can y'all believe so? So like,
Right.
so do you really apologize if you're talking like this? Y'all need to watch out for people like this. They're so self-serving, but believe that the rest of the world is out to get them.
Right. Yes, that's true.
Let me
Um,
calm down. I'm so upset, Jonathan.
it's okay. It's totally fine. We're back at Cash's house. And Cash walks into Nan's room, and Nan is putting on some perfume, honey. She's getting ready. She's got a lot of purple on, and Cash is like, "Well, what's the occasion?" She's like, "I've got a date tonight." And I love the way she sings her words. It's
Yes.
awesome. And Cash is like, "With who?" She says, "With a friend." And then she says, "Why don't you invite someone over? Mary Darren, perhaps." And Cash says, "Well, I don't know. I think I've cooked it." And she says, "Well, I'm cooking." And
I love it.
and then as she's walking out the door, he says, "Use protection," and she says, "F off." And yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's awesome to see
I'm
the
happy
two
to
of
see
them.
Nan in this space. Nan is awesome.
Right. And so then we have Cash. He goes into his room, and he's trying to take some pictures to send back to Darren because he doesn't want to leave Darren on red. He doesn't want to leave
Yeah.
Darren just hanging. And so Cash is, taking his shirt off, pulling his pants down a little bit to show a little bit of his drawers. So I guess that he thinks that looks sexy for him, I guess. And so then he's playing with his phone and he accidentally calls Darren.
Mm-hmm.
And he totally panics, and then he ends the call. And then he like ends up on the floor somehow. I can't remember how he ended up on the floor. Then the phone rings, and it's Darren. Darren called him back, and Cash is really having a time at this
Having
moment.
trouble,
He is struggling, y'all.
Trying to figure things out.
Cash picks up the phone and was like, "Hey, Darren," and Darren's like, "Yeah, I'm just returning your call. You called me, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was a mistake. But do you want to come to my place? My nana's out." And Darren's like, "Yeah, cool, whatever." So I guess we all know what's on Darren's mind at this moment.
Good. No, go ahead.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let me shut up.
So Darren comes over. Cash looks so nervous, like he does not know what to do with himself. And it's really, really cute. But Darren is laughing at Cash because Cash really can't keep himself together. And then Darren sees a Sylvester LP on the floor.
When I saw that, I said, "Ew."
And
that's how
Darren
Grandma
said,
know.
Okay. And then Darren said, "You're gay as F," okay? Because Sylvester is an LGBTQIA plus Lee Jones, okay? Let John, okay, with that high-pitched voice. Anyways, and so then we see this geese in the corner, random geese in the corner, and Cash says, "Oh, he's friendly. Go pet him."
P.S. Have we seen this goose the whole time? Oh, okay.
No.
Just wondering because I'm like, that's really weird.
So freaking random. It's so freaking random. But anyways, in our next scene, we have Malachi and Amory. They're talking on the swings. And Malachi's like, I wanted to tell you at the right time, but the right time never came up. And Malachi says, he really needs some space. He really needs some space. And thankfully, Amory is willing to give him the space that he's asking for.
Thank God.
I think she understands that she really can't help Malachi out in this moment. She doesn't have the skills to help Malachi out at this moment. So there you have it. I'm glad that seemed to be a mature decision for Amory not to want to try to cling on to him because you would think that she tried to hold on to him and want to be his girlfriend, but she sees that Malachi is having a moment. Space. And she needs to give him his space. So anyways, then we get back to Darren and Cash on their little hangout thing. And they turn on You Make Me Feel by Sylvester. You make me feel. That's my favorite Sylvester song. Mighty real. And so they're jamming out or whatever. And Darren's like, "Well, you left me on red. Like, what's going on? Like, what's the tea, honey?" And Cash is like, "Well, I've never been sent a nude before, and I've never sent out a nude either." And Cash is really green to this whole dating thing and this whole relationship thing. Like, he don't know what to do with himself in these spaces or whatever. And so then Darren sits down next to him, and then Darren says, "I'm going to kiss you." And Cash says, "Okay." So they start to kiss. And they start to kiss as the music blares. The music is the music volume goes up on us, and then the music automatically stops all of a sudden. And Cash asks Darren, "Can we just stay here in this moment? Like, can we just have this moment right here?" And Darren obliges, and Darren says, "Okay." And Darren goes to hold Cash, and So what did you think of that moment, and what do you think that said about Cash and where he is as far as his relationship with Darren is concerned and where he wants it to go?
I think we hear more about it the next one. I'll explain further. Keep on going.
Okay. All right. And so then Darren and Cash, that's not that. All right. So then Darren wakes up and he kisses Cash on the chest. And then Darren starts to use his hands and he, goes down to Cash's nether regions and he's feeling him up. Okay. And Cash wakes up and said, "Oh, wait, Darren. I don't want this. This is not what I want right now." And Darren goes off
As he
on
should.
Cash. Why do you say as he should?
Keep on going.
Okay, so Darren says, what? You don't want me? Is that it? Because I've given you plenty of time. I've given you chance after chance after chance after chance to get up in this thing, and you ain't giving me nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so you're just too. He said something about Cash still being in the closet and him
Mhm.
not being able to come to terms with who he is. And
Mhm.
he says, like, if you're trying to figure things out, don't let me be your guinea pig. Which is essentially what he was saying. So, are you feeling Darren in his huff in the space that he's in right now? Do you understand why he feels the way he feels?
Absolutely. Because this is why we have conversation. If what's it, not Dusty, what's his name?
Darren?
Not Darren.
Cash?
If Cash would have been like, "Hey, I'm new to this. I'm not even sure if I'm gay, but I like what I feel. I just don't know if I'm ready for sex. I don't know what I'm not sure." If he could have been upfront with that, Darren would not have to be in a space of, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? He doesn't like me. I don't know what's going on." Blah, blah, blah. That's all it would have been.
Right. Yeah.
So yes,
So,
I say as he should. Let him have it, because with a quick conversation of a difficult, and it's not even that difficult. It's just maybe a little bit hard to say.
yeah.
It would have been better. Go ahead.
Right. Because if he gives him the answer that he's looking for, Darren will have an opportunity to try to understand where Cash is coming from.
Exactly.
And because Darren has no idea where Cash is as far as his sexual
You
prowess
brought him
is
all the way over
concerned,
to the house and asked him to
as
stay the night.
as if Cash didn't think that Darren would want to do something, because
Child.
Darren tried to do it with him last night, okay, in that
Oh,
car.
child. All right, we at 56 minutes, child. Is there
Okay, yeah,
anything
we
else?
got one more scene left, and
Okay,
so
cool, cool, cool,
Malachi's
cool.
nervous before the semifinal game. The principal is about trying to hype everybody up or whatever the case may be. And some random girl named Jenny, she wins the competition. I really thought it was going to be Quinny,
Me
that
too.
won the competition, but anyway, so Malachi, he misses a shot, and everything is in like slow mo. He made one shot, and then the next shot he missed it. And well, no, someone like swatted the ball out of
Sorted
his
it out.
hand.
Yep.
And so Malachi's in this stupor, and he's stuck in this moment. So they get back to the locker room. Malachi is going back in his mind over the things that happened, the
The
assault, and
trauma.
whatever the case may be. And the coach is like, Why is your head in the game? Why is your head in the game?" And then Spider says
And I
something.
think he is so stupid and insensitive to be saying that coach is just stupid. Okay, go ahead.
Right. And so then Spider makes some slick remark. And Malachi
As per
gets up in his
usual.
face. Right. And then Malachi gets up in his face. They start to tussle a little bit. No serious hand throwing, but they're, tussling around. And
Because if
then
he would have
Malachi,
gone straight for the punch, he would have connected. But go ahead.
right, because he had all the free space and time to do so. And so then Malachi rushes out of the locker room and says he's quitting. He's quitting the basketball team. So Malachi walks through the gym and out the door. And
Mhm.
so then Harper looks over towards Dusty. Dusty's sitting at the end of the bleachers, and Spider is talking to Dusty. Spider's talking to Dusty about Malachi, who just quit the basketball team, and he's calling Malachi a Pussy, and
Mhm.
all this good stuff. What Spider would do, and so Harper then grabs the mic, and she has a message for Dusty.
And that's one bad thing about Dusty. He don't slow people down from talking about people. He just
No.
he just sits there and absorbs it and listens. Let that man be horrible. But go ahead, go ahead.
He's one of those friends who will sit in a room full of people who are talking mess about you, hear everything that they're saying, not necessarily participate in the conversation, but will not speak up for you in your defense.
Okay, what Harper say, child?
And so Harper gets on the mic and Harper tells Dusty, "I'm sorry that I enjoyed our rendezvous with Malachi so much. And I'm sorry that he was able to give me the best orgasm that I've ever had. And da 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 and blah, 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 blah. And F you, and we're over the end." So what did you think of Harper pretty much
This is the
cussing
only
the F out of Dusty?
this is the only time that I've actually enjoyed something that Harper said,
Wow.
because it needed to be said, because of the way he was doing her. But once again, it's not like she's any better. But whatever.
Yeah, she's really not any better. You guys, that's all for episode 5. You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. I have my own YouTube channel, is JoJo Speaks. I post videos every Thursday night at 9:30 with hot topics and social commentary. Join us on Thursday nights at 9:30. JoJo Speaks
All
on
right.
YouTube.
Make sure to subscribe to The Light of the Leo. Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all have a good day.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.